Hello friends, my name is Swapnil Bhandarkar and today we are going to study the chapter 9, that is current electricity, from the 12th science syllabus. So all of you know that what is electric current? Electric current, we know that the electric current is the flow of electrons through a conductor when there is potential difference, that is voltage applied across its end. So here this diagram shows a battery is connected across a bulb. Here the conventional direction of the current is from positive to negative, but all of we are aware that the current flows from the negative to positive, means actual flow of electron is always from negative to positive. Here we know that on the basis of electrical properties, that is the ability to conduct the electricity. So on the basis of electrical properties, materials are classified as conductors, insulators and semiconductors. So what is conductor? Basically all the metals are the conductors. They are good conductor of electricity. On the basis of energy band structure of the conductors, insulators and semiconductors, see the diagram. Here the figure A shows that there is overlap between the valence band and conduction band. Hence the energy levels of the electrons here are overlapping with the valence band and conduction band, means there are number of free electrons available in the conduction band to conduct the electricity in case of conductors, that is metals. Then in the case of insulator, see the diagram figure C. It shows that there is a huge energy gap between the valence band and conduction band. In between these two bands there is a dotted line that shows the Fermi level energy. So what is the Fermi level energy or Fermi level gap? So basically Fermi level energy gap is the maximum amount of energy acquired by an electron in case of absolute 0 degree Kelvin temperature. That is the maximum energy, that is just the energy त्या इलेक्ट्रॉनला जी अवेलेबल असते ॲब्सोल्यूट 0 degree Kelvin टेम्परेचरला. Okay, so that is in the case of insulators. And what are the examples of insulators? Insulators, we know that glass, porcelain, rubber, plastic, etc., wood are the insulators that doesn't conduct electricity at all. So after that, see the point number 3, that is semiconductors. So basically a semiconductor is a material that conducts the electricity partially. Okay, partially. So there are basically two types of semiconductors: intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. So intrinsic semiconductor is a pure semiconductor that doesn't contain any type of impurity in it. So intrinsic semiconductor is a pure semiconductor. So what are the examples of pure semiconductor? Silicon, germanium, then some metallic salts or and oxides are also a intrinsic semiconductor. So in the intrinsic semiconductor, at a room temperature, that is at temperature less than room temperature, what happens? All the free electrons are firmly placed in their shells, means no free electron is available to conduct the electricity. So as the temperature increases, as the surrounding temperature or as the temperature of the semiconductor increases, what happens? The electrons acquire some thermal energy and get excited to the higher energy levels and becomes free. Here in this case, when the electron leaves its place, then what happens? The hole is produced at that place and electrons become free to conduct the electricity. So here the electricity is also conducted due to the holes, due to certain extent. So what are the examples? Again we know that examples we have discussed earlier. So after that, See a silicon. We will discuss silicon some in detail. Silicon, it is a tetravalent. The fourth silicon atom forms a covalent bond by sharing with the neighboring atoms. See the diagram. At absolute 0 degree Kelvin and above 0 degree Kelvin. See here, each silicon atom is bounded by four silicon atoms by a covalent bond. Here, at 0 degree Kelvin, it is completely stable. But what happens above the 0 degree Kelvin? The electron leaves its space and a hole is produced there, and that electron become free to conduct the electricity. So here the white dot shows the holes and the black dot indicates that it is a free electron there. So see the energy level diagram shown here below. At 0 degree Kelvin, the valence band is completely filled and conduction band is completely empty. Hence at 0 degree Kelvin, the semiconductor doesn't conduct electricity. What happens above the 0 degree Kelvin? See the diagram towards the right hand side. Here the electrons get excited to conduction band, and hence a holes is formed there in the valence band, and the electrons in the conduction band are free to conduct the electricity. Of course, in semiconductor, the electricity is also carried due to the placement of holes also. See, then the second type of semiconductor is extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductor is the semiconductor that is formed due to the addition of impurity. The addition of impurity is also called as doping process. So by addition of impurities, the extrinsic semiconductors are produced, and it is of two types, that is p type and n type. So see, in case of p type semiconductor, a trivalent impurity, that is the elements containing the 3 electron in the outermost orbit, is used. What are the examples of p type? What are the examples of that impurities? Indium, boron, aluminum, etc. are added to produce the p type semiconductor. Here the p type semiconductor is rich in the number of holes than the number of electrons. Hence in p type semiconductor, number of holes are available in large amount than the number of electrons. In case of n type semiconductor, it is formed by the addition of, by doping of pentavalent impurities. We know that what are the pentavalent impurities? Certain elements that contains 5 electron in its outermost orbit are added into the pure semiconductor, that is silicon or germanium. So what are the pentavalent impurities? Of course, phosphorus, antimony, bismuth, arsenic are the pentavalent impurities that are added to produce the n-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor is rich in the number of electrons than the number of holes. Hence, a free electron is available in large amount as compared to number of holes in the n-type semiconductor. So here we will revise some basic concepts that we have studied in the chapter in the previous year, that is 11th science. So what is diode? Diode is a semiconductor device that is formed by the combination of p and n type of material. So one part of diode, that is 30% of diode, 30 to 35% of diode is composed of p type material, and remaining 70% is composed of n type material. And a junction or part, that is the two part are sandwiched together. Okay, so that part, that is part means certain a wall or a compound, that is also called as compound, or the part which joins the two materials, that is p and n, is called as junction. So that is also, so that's why it is also called as p-n junction diode. Okay, so what is the purpose of diode? You know that diode acts as switch. Means if the diode is used in the forward bias condition, that means p type is connected to the positive terminal of a battery and n type is connected to the negative terminal of battery. What happens? Due to this, the electrons in the n type materials, which are negative charge carriers, get attracted towards the p-type semiconductor, and both these and holes from the p-type semiconductor are get attracted towards the n-type, that is negative terminal, and both these electrons and holes accumulate at the junction, and that junction is not crossed by them. Due to this, they accumulate at the junction, means a potential barrier is produced at that junction, that is also called as VB, that is barrier potential. So in case of if the diode is composed of from pure silicon, then the barrier potential for the silicon diode is 0.7 volt, and if the diode is composed from germanium, that is pure germanium, then the barrier potential for the germanium diode is 0.3 volt. So what is the working? Diode is used as switch. We know that LED, it is also a light emitting diode, that is used as indicator or to signify certain flow of current through a loop of the circuit. Diode allows the flow of current in a one particular direction when it is used in forward bias. Okay, and what is a resistor? Yes, resistor is a device that restricts the flow of electric current through it, that offers certain resistance to the flow of electric current. So basically resistor are of two types, that is fixed value resistors and variable value resistors. So what are the fixed value resistors? Yes, carbon resistor, it is a fixed value resistor. And what are the examples of variable value resistors? Rheostat, you know that rheostat is a variable resistor. Then resistance box, it is a variable value resistor. Certain potentiometer, yes, it can also be used like a resistor up to certain extent. So this is the in case of resistor. So basically there is a difference between the diode and resistor. Diode doesn't resist the flow of current, it only allows the flow of current in a particular direction. And basically resistor is a device that used to resist a limit of flow of current in a particular circuit. Okay, so this is the basics of the diode and resistors that we have discussed here. Then certain symbols should be remembered, that is used to signify the electrical components. See here, figure is there that is showing a electrical component and its symbol. So here a cell, battery is there, a DC power supply, that is positive, negative. Then variable DC supply, that is here is an arrow. Then AC supply, of course there is AC sign here. Then there is a plug key, this is a tap key, that is used to be tap. Here at the point number 8, there is reversing key, or it is also called as quadrant key. So this key we will see in the demonstration experiment, that is of tangent galvanometer. We will see during the experiments. So here there is a wire at a junction or branch point, means a wire is connecting at this particular point, that is indicated by black dot here. Then point number 15, this is the connecting wires. Here a vertical wire is there, and here a particular horizontal wire is there, and these wires, horizontal and vertical, are not touching to each other. Then here at a point number 16, there is a jockey, means this is a wire, and this line here pointed by an arrow indicates that it is a jockey. Then here it is a transformer. We know that transformer is consist of primary coil and secondary coil. Here the coil above indicates it is a primary coil. It is separated by a dielectric medium, and here it is a secondary coil here. Then next there is a galvanometer. It may be shown like G or simply a round circle pointed here and arrow. Then there is a ammeter. Ammeter is indicated by capital symbol A, plus, minus. It has positive and negative side. Then there is a voltmeter, positive, negative, indicated by capital V. Then here it is a fixed value resistor. This one is a variable value resistor, variable value or resistance, variable resistor or resistance box. Here arrow indicates, here this arrow indicates that it is a variable resistor. Next is a rheostat. Of course, it has 3 terminals. These 2 terminals are the fixed terminal, and the terminal here above is called as variable terminal. Then next is a rheostat as potential divider. This is the rheostat used as a potential divider. Means we may use this part of a circuit or either this part of a circuit. Then there is a lamp or simply a bulb. It is shown by this symbol. Then here is a PN junction diode. This triangular part indicates that this is a anode, indicated by symbol P, and this single line is referred as cathode, that is also shown by symbol K, that is cathode. And here of course we know that triangular part is a P-type material and this cathode is a N-type material. Then and again there is a symbol of Zener diode that acts as a regulated, that also acts as voltage regulator. So here this is a symbol here. Simply at the N part type material there is a that single line is here tilted forward and here it is backward. Then next is the AND gate. Then there is a NOT OR gate. Then of course NOT gate, NAND gate and NOR gate. Okay, up to this part we have cleared some concepts. Then in the next part we will revise 2 or more resistances that is connected in the series circuit.